I was muted. Sorry. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on Rangers Central, and the Rangers win 5-1 over the New York Islanders. Obviously, though, the big story coming out of this is the fact that there were a couple of injuries at the end of this game between Adam Fox and Keandre Miller, who both missed a lot of time in this game. I don't know where I was going with that. Miller did not return after the second period, and then I believe it might have even been earlier, but Adam Fox, he ended up being hurt in the middle of the third period. So the Rangers, they get the win, but if those two are out long term, it's going to be a big issue because this defense is already brutal to begin with, and it's not going to be any better. And the Adam Fox one definitely looked very concerning. I don't even know what happened to Miller, considering the fact that he was completely fine his last shift, and then he just didn't end up coming back. Adam Fox, it looked bad. It looks like, so I'm not a doctor, so I don't, for all I know, it's a small injury, but from what my eyeballs saw, it looks like it's going to be at least a couple of games. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but that's just what I at least assume. It's what I think. Nonetheless, though, the Rangers get 2 points tonight. Didn't really gain much progress in the standings despite getting the 2 points tonight because of the fact that Detroit and even Montreal won. Boston lost in overtime, but the teams in front, especially Detroit and Columbus, who play each other soon a couple of times, which that's where the Rangers are going to have to take advantage of their opportunity if they want to make the playoffs. So they didn't gain a lot of ground tonight, but they still end up getting 2 points. Leave a like on your way in, though, to the live stream. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, especially if you're Ranger fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. There's a lot to unpack with this game because I have a lot of weird feelings right now. I have a lot of weird feelings because to me, this game felt very similar to how they were playing at the beginning of the year, where maybe more so January than the beginning of the year, because January, their offense at least looked a little bit more dynamic than it does right now. And they were getting contributions from the top six. Lately, they've not been getting contributions really from the top six. Outside of JT Miller, it's really been a little lackluster. And that's why I said similar to January, because when they were winning those games in January, a lot of the production was coming from the bottom six. And then when that started to slow down, you didn't see this team winning games as much, to no surprise. But man, how refreshing was it to not see Chris Kreider out there and to see Brennan Othmann out there, who looked actually hungry tonight. I actually really liked his game tonight. He did not pop off entirely on the score sheet. I don't even think he registered a point, but damn, did he look good. That line in general looked good. And I was dead wrong about how that line was going to be, because going into the game, I was very pissed off that Brennan Othmann was on the fourth line. And I said, why the hell are you burying him? This is why you don't develop prospects. This is why this organization pisses me the hell off. But that line was the best line tonight. Johnny Brodzinski played so good that he might get scratched next game. And then Matt Rempe got that deflection goal. He actually played a very respectable game. There were a couple times I was actually pointing out a couple of good plays that he made. So that line was really good tonight. Even the third line, which I definitely didn't love on paper, I thought actually played a decent game, but it comes from the top six not playing good enough still to where I question how long will this go, because that's where I worry about this being very similar to January. They're not getting a high shot volume. They're not getting enough time offensively. And they were talking about it on the broadcast. I mean, Artemi Panarin, I don't know where this guy's been. I have no clue where this guy's been at all. But this also, in my opinion, further solidified why I think they need to break apart this core and why it's time to let these young kids play come the trade deadline. Because look at how much more engaged a guy like Othmann was. I'm telling you, you put Brett Berard in this lineup too. You trade Riley Smith, get Brett Berard in here, and you put the two of them together maybe on a line. See what could happen. See what could happen. I think it's worth I think it's worth a shot. I'm scared that now that they're climbing themselves back into the race here, they're going to be buyers when that should not be the route they go. I think that if they're going to buy, I've stood by this. If they're going to buy, get guys that have term that are also young. Like when I saw they were linked to Ryan McLeod, I am very interested in that because I think Ryan McLeod actually makes sense for this team. But don't go out and buy anyone that is just a pure rental. There's just no way. And I'm scared that them winning is going to change their viewpoint. I'm scared that them winning is going to make them think, okay, we don't have to sell off our pending UFAs. That should not be the case. Tonight, if anything, further solidified why you shouldn't hold on to the pending UFAs. Because let the young guys play, let them show what they're capable of, and let them get a jump start. And maybe that puts you in a better spot for next season. Because the top six did not impress me at all tonight. What did impress me was how active the defensemen were, though, tonight. Euro Vakanainen might have played his best game as a Ranger. That pair in general, at least for the time they were together until the injuries happened, Vakanainen and Schneider, I thought they were very good tonight. I thought that pair was great. And that might have been their best game as a pair together. Do I think that now they should give Vakanainen a lifetime extension? No. But they played great tonight, and I cannot believe he scored. I cannot believe he scored. Ryan Lindgren ended up getting a point too, which, hey, career high for points in the season for him. I hope other GMs are taking notes there. I hope they're noticing that. Really hope they are. What also helped tonight, Ilya Sorokin sucks. I'm going to flat out say it. Maybe it was just a one-off tonight. He was garbage tonight. And that really helped the Rangers because there were points where I felt like they were getting outplayed significantly and they were spending so much time in the D zone. And it felt like the Islanders were going to potentially break through. But Ilya Sorokin could not buy a save for them. He could not. And that hurt them tonight. And I definitely will give Igor credit when it is due. I'm not entirely anti-Igor just because of that contract. But I thought Igor played great tonight and was part of the reason that they were in this game. Because that first period, it really could have went the other way. If Igor wasn't making pivotal stops and then Sorokin, who couldn't make a stop, that helped out a lot. So, yeah, they got a lot better goaltending than the Islanders did, which their backup goalie, whatever his name is, Sarek, I think his name is, he somehow looked better than Sorokin tonight. Only had to stop 7 shots, but I thought he looked better than Sorokin. And again, not that the Rangers' offense generated too much tonight, but he faced a couple of chances there. But Sorokin couldn't stop a beach ball. And that's now 2 nights in a row where the Rangers capitalize on some garbage goaltending because Pittsburgh did not have that either. Man, that Pittsburgh game. And yeah, they pulled the goalie with 8 minutes left too. Forgot to even point that out, which was just ridiculous. Yeah, I thought the bottom 6 did, Steve, but I think the top 6 still is leaving a lot to be desired. Again, outside of JT Miller, I want to make that clear. I think the top 6 still, and that's where I do still have my worries. The top 6 has not played good enough, and when you play against a team like Toronto next, that could be a team that exposes you for having a lackluster top 6. The injuries, though, got so bad that Miga was about to take a shift on defense tonight. They almost ended up with 3 defensemen by the end of this game. So I don't know what's going to happen now because Schneider's fine. I guess for Weedle and Jones, probably in the lineup next game. I'd like to see Brandstrom, but I just imagine it's going to be Jones and Ruedel. Could be wrong there, but either way, yeah. Um, yeah. Igor talking to the media tonight, of course. Won't get into that. I won't. I won't. He had a good game. I won't get into it. Speaking of things that were a little weird, though, I still find it weird at the morning skate the way that interaction went down between Kreider and Laviolette. I didn't like that at all on both ends, mostly Kreider's end, but that concerns me too, to be completely honest with you. So I don't know. Anyway, I'll get to the chat. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe, turn on your notifications. And if you're listening to the audio version, give a rating and review. You can find me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever your podcasting platform is. Go find me there. I put the audio version up of these as soon as I possibly could. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat right now. Yeah, I would say this is pretty much how you sum up tonight's game. They weren't great, but they were better than the Islanders. Yeah, I agree. I think that's the perfect way to sum this game up. They stink. That team is terrible. Well, you have Adam Pelech missing a wide open net. I don't know how they pulled themselves into a playoff spot or the playoff race at least a little bit. But now they've lost 4 straight. I don't know if they should definitely not be buying at the deadline. I mean, they're with the Ducks right now in the standings, just overall. You're Pittsburgh, you're Buffalo even. It's not good for them. Yeah, they gotta trade Brock Nelson. They have to. Do I think Igor starts against Toronto? Yes. Yeah. I think they gotta start him against Toronto because I think you start quick against Nashville and then you start Igor against the Islanders on for that Monday game. I would imagine that's what their plan is. But we're going to see a lot more Jonathan Quick with the amount of back-to-backs they have coming up because they have a back-to-back Sunday, Monday. They have a back-to-back Saturday, Sunday the week after. Then they have another Saturday, Sunday back-to-back. Finally, not a back-to-back. And then they have a Friday, Saturday on the West Coast back-to-back. Fun. Season's really getting close to an end, though. One more game left this month, and then pretty much down to the wire of it. I'm very interested to see how this deadline's gonna go. I'm very interested. Yeah, this is something that I didn't highlight either when Igor had to come out of the net to play the puck because of Fox not skating. Well, yeah. Yeah, and then there was also in that same sequence there because the Islanders penalty kill, which is ranked 31st, somehow looked like the best penalty kill in the damn league, getting some shorthanded opportunities. Miga just got pushed off the puck so easily by Bo Horvat on one of those. Yeah, I'm very nervous for the deadline too. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I'm very nervous. It's one of the most nervous honestly this is the most nervous I've been for a deadline, even though last year, I mean, last year was more just I was pissed off. Fox is like Luca. He's not athletic, but if he had an actual supporting cast who cares, his postseason offensive numbers are always amazing. I think debate right now, and I tweeted this. It's so stupid. It is so stupid, the debate with Adam Fox right now on Twitter, because it's either he's the best defenseman in the world, one of the best defensemen in the world, or no, he's just completely garbage. Trade him. He needs to rot somewhere. And I said in that tweet, there's a middle ground here that people are missing. And the middle ground that I'm referring to there, personally, is I think over the course of the regular season, he is a very good to elite defenseman. I think that the problem is his flaws hold him back from being the type of guy that could take over games. And his flaws are worrisome come playoff time. So that's what I think the middle ground is. But that's just me. I think people are going too extreme one way or the other with this one. What was the interaction between Kreider and Laviolette? More like lack thereof, because Laviolette was trying to talk to Kreider in the morning skate, and Kreider just completely ignored him. So I don't know what that was about, but that's worrisome to me. Yeah, the way too stationary, still on the power play. 100%. 1,000,000%. I saw someone comment before about how Othman might have scored on one of those Brodzinski goals. So everything that I said before about how he didn't get on the score sheet could change by the time that I'm done with this live stream. He could end up getting credit for that goal there. I don't think he got a piece of it. I know Valley's really pushing to manifest that Othman goal, but I don't think he got a piece of it, unfortunately. So I mean, he played good tonight. Rossi missed a wide open cage, which let Detroit get 2 points tonight. It wasn't the only one that missed a wide open net, because you had Vinny Trocheck do the same in this game, and Panarin at one point. Yeah, that doesn't help though for the standings at all there. Fox and Miller are both being evaluated. Makes sense. Makes sense. I don't know what the severity of the injuries will be, but we'll see. Othman was good tonight, in my opinion. I think that line that he was on was the best line tonight. I liked Othman's game. Yeah, I agree. Panarin's not been good lately at all. He has not been good at all lately. The Islanders are sellers, right? They probably should be. If they're not selling, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I have no clue what they're doing if they're not selling. But that's also not my problem. I'd be more than okay with them buying. I'd be more than okay with that. Yeah, and Lafreniere too. I mean, Lafreniere had that one good play to set up that rush opportunity, but still isn't playing good enough. Yeah, I'm wondering too how they're going to approach the deadline. I want them still to sell off the pending UFAs, but that's just me. Because to me, does anyone even view any of these pending UFAs as valuable outside of Jonathan Quick. And even then, honestly, I would move Quick just to let him try to get a cup one more time. Let him go back to LA. Maybe he'd want to go back there. And I love Quick. This is not me knocking on him, but let him go win a cup. I would love to let him get that opportunity to go try and win a cup one more time before he calls it a career. And then let Garon get some starts. Because I would move him. I would move Riley Smith in a heartbeat. I would move Jimmy Vesey in a heartbeat to let these young guys play. Ryan Lindgren could kick rocks. That's not even a question. And yeah, outside of that, I mean, maybe Zach Jones gets traded just because he needs to get a change of scenery. Yeah, this is really it. If Quick, like, I think you have the conversation and say to Quick, like, we really don't want to move you that much, but we also understand that, you're at the end of your career and we want to give you a legit shot to win a cup one more time. If you want to be moved somewhere specifically, we have no issue with that because he does have trade protection. So I would have that conversation with him. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think Quick could fetch actually like a decent return because of the fact that teams are starving for goaltending come the trade deadline. And I genuinely think the Kings would make so much sense because let him go back where it started and let him try to win a Stanley Cup one more time with that team because David Riddick is not good at all as their backup goalie. Kemper's been good this year, but let him go back there. Edmonton, I mean, Edmonton would make sense too. I'm just saying, I think LA just because of the fact that I feel like he'd want to go to LA more. And I feel like the Rangers, if they're trading Quick, I feel like they're going to honor a request of where he'd want to be. I think it's a little bit of a different situation than just trading the guy. Because with everyone else, it's like, I don't care where they end up. Really don't. I think with Quick though, he deserves the respect of getting to pick where he wants to go, which might lower the return, unfortunately. But at the same time, it is the end of his career, and I think it's only right. And I'd love to see him get another chance to win a Stanley Cup. Yeah, Gibson to Edmonton could make a lot of sense with that Huso trade. That can make sense. Will the Sabres ever figure it out? No. No, they won't. It's bad. It's so bad with them. Yeah, I hated Lindy Ruff when he was here. I hated Lindy Ruff when he was here because Brady Shea goes from having a really good rookie season to all of a sudden taking gigantic steps back each and every season. Everyone looked worse under him. I did not like him at all. And I agreed that they should move Kreider. It's time to let go. And is it going to happen? I don't know because I think he's a negative asset at this point. I genuinely believe because of the injuries and everything, I think the Rangers would have to move a prospect or pick to get rid of him. That's the issue. Is who is going to take him? Yeah, and the contract, yeah. That that's my point, Brian. It's like I don't know who's taking Kreider. I really don't. Yeah, I agree. I think that's more of an off-season move. I think that's more of an off-season move too. 100%. Good win, but I'm just skeptical about this team. You and I both. I this Believe me, this did not change my opinion on this team. Believe me. Cool, you did it against Pittsburgh. Cool, you did it against the Islanders. Go beat Toronto and convincingly. Like play with a good effort, I mean. But if they play like this, they're not being Toronto. Put Kreider on LTIR. That is also an option, but I think they're trying to let him play because they do. I think they do want to move him, but his value rather just keeps decreasing nonstop. Washington coming to town next week. Yeah, that's another tough game. They have a couple of. It's really a mixed bag, honestly. The Rangers' schedule coming up because they got Toronto, tough team. Nashville and the Islanders should beat them. Then they have Washington, who probably destroys them. Ottawa, who the hell knows how that goes? Columbus, who the hell knows? Like, it's really a mixed bag, honestly, with the teams that they got coming up. I mean, there's a couple of really good teams, though, as we get later on into March. Like, excluding Calgary, which even then, they're a playoff team right now, and the Rangers lost to them. Couple of good teams, and excluding Anaheim and San Jose, I should say, because those teams are not good at all. I didn't say that they can't make the playoffs. They're not going to do anything in the playoffs. I'd be stunned if they did. Go ahead and go ahead and prove me wrong, but they're not going to do anything in the playoffs if they get there. Like, let's be real for a second. They they're in a spot where it could be the opposite of last year, where Washington is the team that's going to sweep them, and we're in Washington shoes, where they're in where we were last year. They're in our shoes. Yeah, I mean, but those two teams play each other a lot soon, so that could go the Rangers' way there. I think that the way to go is to sell and buy on guys with term at the deadline. And if that's not their approach, then that's a problem. Yeah, that's how I would envision that series going. At most, going to 5 games. I feel I have mixed feelings about Trent Frederick just because I'm worried about how much he's going to want next season. I would rather target McLeod if Buffalo would move him. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live, and I'll see you guys in the next one.